Cancellations are abundant in the sports world as COVID continues to rage across the country. I'm going to break down all these games getting canceled, as well as some adjustments the professional sports leagues are making to try and get these games played. And could there be a forfeited national championship in the college football ranks? But if you could first, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these daily news update videos. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps the channel out a lot. All right, let's get into it. So like I said, unless you've been sleeping under a rock for the last few weeks, the Omicron variant of COVID-19 has been raging across the country. Highly contagious. Lucky for us, the symptoms seem to be very mild, so that's a good news, but it is not helping out the sports world whatsoever. All this kind of started when my Aggies dropped out of the Gator Bowl due to COVID outbreak, and a lot of people were talking a lot of shit about the Aggies, like, oh, they just don't want to play, they're going to lose, blah, 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 blah. Ain't like that. We're just leaders of the pack. We're forward thinkers down there in College Station. Multiple teams have dropped out now. We saw the Hawaii Bowl canceled over the holiday weekend due to an outbreak with Hawaii. Boston College had an outbreak, canceling the Military Bowl with Eastern Carolina. Virginia has had a massive outbreak. They canceled the Fenway Bowl against SMU. Miami has dropped out of the Sun Bowl. Boise State just dropped out of the Arizona Bowl today. It just feels like every bowl game is getting canceled, getting postponed. It's a total disaster for these college programs. And this is getting very concerning with the college football semifinals to be played on Friday. It's very sketchy out there, folks. I don't want any of these games to be forfeited or anything like that, but everyone's being flexible. All the sports leagues seem to be doing a good job making adjustments. Everybody but the college football playoff. For those of you that don't know, the college football playoff came out and said, if this game is not played on January 14th, if one of the teams is not available due to COVID, forfeit. Other team is your national champion. If both teams are having COVID issues, vacated national championship, no winner. What is going on? What are these idiots in the college football committee doing? I mean, everybody else is having to work through this. We're in the middle of a pandemic, endemic, whatever you want to call it. There's a virus going around that's causing issues, and everyone else is being flexible to the best of their ability to try and get the sports in that we know and love. But no, we're just going to ruin your entire college football season because we want to be a bunch of dickheads. Play the game. Nobody wants a forfeited college football game. Nobody wants a vacated national championship. Play the damn game if there's a problem. Move it back. Be flexible, people. It's so ridiculous. Like I said, the games are being played on New Year's Eve, so they got a nice little break in between before the finals. You can't control these college kids. You don't know what they're going to be up to. They're doing the best they can. They're sitting in protocol. I know all the teams arrived today for the semifinal matchups on Friday. Michigan and Georgia down in Miami, Alabama, Cincinnati, and Fort Worth. But Georgia's having a little bit of a COVID issue. JT Daniels, their quarterback, is out, probably not going to play. Michigan, on the other hand, handling their business. They're not dealing with COVID issues. Alabama's got a couple of coaches out, Bill O'Brien and Doug Marrone. Offensive coordinator and play caller Bill O'Brien is a big blow for the Tide, but he's expected to be coaching virtually and then arrive in Fort Worth sometime during the week and be available for the game. So good help to the Tide. I know Cincinnati's having a little bit of COVID issues as well, so the Cotton Bowl is the game to keep your eyes on if there's going to be a cancellation or something like that. But nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see a damn cancellation of these games. I don't really give a shit about the other bowl games. If you cancel them, you cancel them. Who the hell cares? You're just taking away from your money and the fun of it. But we can't have these semifinal games canceled. I know COVID is raging, but have some flexibility, people. The NHL shut down till past Christmas, but they've already delayed some games. They were supposed to start back up tomorrow night, already delaying 3 games this week. I expected them to honestly be shut down till the new year, and everyone can adjust and reevaluate these situations. Like I said, COVID is just raging with Omicron. Symptoms, very mild. Everyone's fine, but vaccinated, unvaccinated, boosted, whatever, you're catching this damn thing, it feels like. So it's really just an awkward situation when you have these rules in place from previous variants and you're dealing with a new situation. NFL is doing a great job. They've changed their rules. You can get 2 negative tests if you're vaccinated. If you're asymptomatic, you're not even getting tested anymore. Not great for the unvaccinated people, probably going to catch it now. But if you're vaccinated, asymptomatic, you're not getting tested. So you can't test positive if you're not getting tested. So good for those guys if you're vaccinated and asymptomatic. You're not in trouble missing any games. But even with all these adjustments, the NFL still had 106 players go on the COVID reserve list. 96 testing positive today. That's another record. So it doesn't matter. People are just popping left and right. But guys are coming off the list some. There weren't any movement of games or cancellations this weekend, which is great for the NFL. Only 2 games left in the regular season. Hopefully things can get under control in this time frame because we don't want to see anybody in the playoffs hit with major COVID outbreaks or having to get games canceled or anything like that. I doubt the NFL will cancel any playoff games. They're not insane like that. They're going to get their money's worth. The NBA is finally updating their policies in conjunction with the CDC. The CDC had changed the incubation period. So, like, if you test positive, you got to isolate for 10 days. That's now down to 5 with this new variant. So, the NBA is now allowing players to come off the health and safety protocol list in 6 days' time to help players get more guys in. I mean, we've been playing with the G League out there the last week or so. A lot of postponements, a lot of guys, two-way players, 10-day contracts getting signed. So it's been a mismatch hodgepodge of players in the NBA. Luckily, they can have some flexibility here as it is only December. NBA season's a long way away from reaching the playoffs, so they can make some movements here. But like I said, nobody wants to see these cancellations. Games are getting hammered left and right. I'm sure we're going to see a ton more bowl games out. The only thing we don't want to see is the college football national championship being affected. So the 2 semifinals and the final game. Got to get those games played. Don't want to see these NFL playoff games affected. But leagues are adapting. Leagues are adjusting. Leagues are being very proactive. I got to commend them. They're doing a great job. I think the NFL's done the best job so far. NBA slowly but surely turning their heads around. They've been pushing boosters and vaccines for these players. Clearly not going to do anything for you from popping on this test. So that's not a great philosophy for the NBA to have. They just kind of got to go with it. I think the NFL model is great. The NBA should adopt. If you're asymptomatic and you're vaccinated, we ain't going to test you. We ain't going to worry about it. You can play. You're just, you got the sniffles. It's fine. College football, of course, the old curmudgeons of college football and the college football playoffs are the last one to change their minds about anything. They do everything like this. That's why college football is sometimes a nonsense sport. But yeah, that's going to do it for us today. Let me know what you guys think about everything, and I'll see you all tomorrow.